So you're in a cafeteria when all of a sudden someone next to you starts to choke or have a problem, and you believe that they might need your help. Ever wonder if you would know what to do? Well, in this reaction video here on Roy and Rescue, we're going to break down a 1-minute video on a real choking in progress and see if we can shine some light on it. Stay tuned. So it looks like there was a school in Utah, it looks like maybe a high school, and the kids are in cafeteria and they're eating, and all of a sudden you notice that the young man down in the bottom right corner of the video begins to have some problems. He's eating a sandwich or something, and unbeknownst to the friends around him, he's having trouble. Now, he doesn't do the classic hands around the throat, hey, I'm choking type of signal, but he does definitely show everyone that he's having some trouble. Notice that really only one out of the whole group gets involved. In this reaction video to a choking in progress, we're going to look at the video together. It's not very long, it's about a minute long, and we're gonna break it down step by step together and see, number one, how it could have maybe been done a little bit more efficiently, not picking on the student whatsoever. And in this case, let me just say in full disclosure, kudos to the student who got involved. Kudos to the student who did a good job and saved this young man's life. He got involved, he risked embarrassment, and he saved this fellow student's life. There's no two ways about it. I'm not going to be picking on anything about how he responded and at least tried to help, but there was definitely a few things I believe that could have been done maybe a little more efficiently. So let's watch it together and see how this maybe went down and how this student in the future might be able to rescue more effectively. Okay, let's take a look at this together. So it looks like everybody's eating here. And then the boy instantly starts to choke. Notice how he taps on his throat. He doesn't do this. This is the universal sign for choking. But as I've always said in my classes, you don't have to wait for this. The fact that they're like not talking, not breathing, and tapping on their throat is a really good indication that they are having a problem with something, whether it's a problem swallowing or whether it's a problem breathing. They're starting to have some problems. Let's take a look at what happens next. He gets up, he goes over to the trash can and tries to spit stuff out of his mouth. He's clearly embarrassed, but he's also in great distress. He's looking around, he's looking at fellow students. He tries to get rid of it. He might be gagging. Okay, let's stop right there. He's gagging, that's normal. He's trying to get it out, hoping to throw it up. It's not working. So he turns around, walks over, and that's when the other student gets involved. Reaches around him, but take a look at where his hand placement is at. I think in this case, you're going to notice that he actually reaches around the arms of the student, which is going to make it really difficult do any kind of really deep compression into the abdomen because you've got these arms in the way. So we really want to lift these arms up, reach around, find the belly button, tuck the thumb into the hand, place it above the finger, grab that fist, and then do inward and upward thrusts into the diaphragm, nice and hard. And you're going to do that over and over again until the object comes out or until the patient goes unconscious, at which point, if 911 has not been called, now we're going to call 911. But let's take a look at how it goes down. So he's trying. You can see the other gentleman right there does the right thing. Seems like these guys have probably had some type of CPR class at some point. He calls out generally to whomever and says, hey, go call 911 or go get help. This is specifically why we always say, point to someone. In our classes, we always pick on the guy in the plaid shirt. I don't think I see anybody here with a plaid shirt on, but it doesn't have to be plaid. There's a story behind that. But anyways, the point is to look someone in the eye and say, hey, you, and call them by name if you know their name, otherwise describe them, and ask them to go call 911 and then come back and let me know that they're on the way. He just generally yells out, and look at the kids. They're all just still sitting there. They're like, is this really happening? not getting involved. The boy down like right in the center there is like, this guy is like, I don't even know if he stops eating. It looks like he's like checking his phone or something. It's crazy. And then the other two guys are definitely getting involved. So let's take a look at what happens next. We're at 30 seconds here. We've got 26 seconds left to this. Let's see what happens. He's still choking, taps his throat again. This time he raises his hands up, which allows the kid to wrap his arms around better and literally get into that diaphragm. He looks a little bit high to me. It looks like he could be on the ribs in the xiphoid process, which is also going to cause a problem as far as like getting into the diaphragm to collapse those lower lobes of the lungs and push trapped air up to the trachea, which is at the top of the trachea is only the size of the person's pinky is a general rule. So anything stuck in there is probably between the larynx. It's stuck, and we just need to get this object out. So at least the guy is under the arms now, really doing some tough abdominal thrusts. Oh, the kid obviously gets something out. Now he's breathing again. Little celebratory hands up in the air. He deserves it. Kind of collecting himself now. You can see now comes the what just happened. Did this really just happen? Are you still okay? The other guy took off. I imagine he's going to go get help, which is exactly what he should be doing. Meanwhile, the patient is sitting down recovering, finally breathing. It's been almost 50 seconds since his last breath. Think about holding your breath for 1 minute. Try it sometime. It is extremely scary. You begin to panic. Fortunately, this young man got involved and at least tried something. And it's like I've always said about the Heimlich maneuver, half the time or better, we get the object out by accident. It's just a very effective, it's like a 98% effective technique to remove obstructed airway objects. And in this case, you've got a classic bystander who gets involved, does the Heimlich maneuver, and removes a foreign body airway obstruction. But in the end, a life saved. A life saved. This would not be the first time that a person in a school chokes to death. It may seem light. It may seem like it was no big deal. It may seem like, hey, it's another day here at the school. But that young man's life was saved because of his friend or fellow schoolmate. Top-notch leadership. Top-notch, I'm going to get involved. Probably didn't even think about it. Follow-up on this would be the young man who was choking should still be seen by paramedics, at least. If he starts developing abdominal pain, starts feeling like he still has something in his airway, we want to check for aspiration pneumonia, partial airway obstruction. At least 4 quadrants of the lung should be listened to make sure that there's no obstruction noted in the airways. Make sure there's no broken ribs. Make sure there's no broken off xiphoid process, no bruised or bleeding internal organs. Those can happen. It's not common, but it can happen from abdominal thrusts. In this case, it seems like ordinarily a healthy young man who is quite resilient, may be able to carry on the rest of his day, thanking God that he was saved. His family, his loved ones, his friends. Kudos to whoever that young man was that got up and did that. Kudos to the other young man who got up and assisted and went and got help. Well done. Well done. Listen, if you like this video, if you like this breakdown, tell me about it in the comments. And if nothing else, tell me by thumbs upping the video. If you like this kind of reaction video where I break it down and help you understand what's going on and things that could have maybe been done better to make it a better outcome, let me know in the comments. Be sure you subscribe to keep track of every release that comes out. Let's build this channel up. Let's get a lot of good feedback. If you've got a video like this and you want to send me the link or the description, I will put it in there and consider it for a reaction video. From Roy and Rescue, keep on rescuing and stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.